come too early?
No, no, not at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't go into the office. I just didn't really feel up to it.
No, I'm sure.
I ought to be at the trial for Jamie's sake, but I don't feel up to that either.
I can understand that.
Listen, I wanted to go over these contracts for the Phelps account.
Mm-hmm.
There's some provisions in this that what was I saying? Oh,
Rachel,
yes,
this can wait.
No, it can't. I need to work.
I think you need to talk about how you
No,
feel.
I don't need to talk. I think I'm talked out.
Well, maybe it'll make you feel better.
I don't think so. It's these presents. I've got to get these presents returned. They keep coming in, all of these engagement presents.
Why don't you let me handle them? You go up and lie down or
it's all
whatever,
right.
and I can just take care of
I
it.
want to get back to work, all right? This contract is what's important right now.
Rachel, there is one thing that we do have to talk about.
Paulina.
Yes. When are you going to put this girl out of here and out of your life?
What did you just say?
I believe that Cass's first wife, Kathleen, is still alive.
You're serious?
I would never joke about that, Ryan, believe me.
No, I guess you wouldn't. Okay, I've got an awful lot of questions to ask, and the first one is, does Cass think the same thing?
No. I haven't even told Cass my suspicions.
Frankie, before you go looking into this, don't you think you should tell Cass?
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak up, Marley. Would you please repeat for the court what you just said?
Jake raped me. I can't tell Cass. Why would I tell Cass?
Hey, don't get angry
Well,
at
if
me.
you think about it for 1 minute, you would realize what a stupid idea that is.
But she is, after all. I mean, she was his wife.
Cass is in that courtroom fighting for Marley's future right now, Ryan. He doesn't need to deal with something like this, especially since I have no proof that what I believe is true.
Okay. Start at the beginning. Now, what is it that first gave you this idea?
I have been reviewing the security tapes at the hospital to see if there is any connection between the woman who has been visiting Jake
And the woman that Vicky said she saw.
between her and what happened to Jake. Now look. How do we turn this thing on? Pause it. There she is.
And you think that that's
It is.
Kathleen?
What do you think?
Well, and there is a heck of a resemblance.
It's the same person.
No, you can't prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, this is a tape and this is a photograph. She's got glasses on.
A woman
she may
knows
just
these
have-
things, Ryan. It's the same person.
But it's just not conclusive.
I know that. Why do you think I'm asking you for help to see if we can make it conclusive?
Okay, all right. Let's just assume that this is Kathleen. What in the world would Cass's dead wife be doing visiting Jake's hospital
It
room?
makes sense, Ryan.
Why, was she having an affair with Jake as well?
Oh, really cute.
I'm not trying to be.
She was Jake's cousin. Her name was Kathleen McKinnon. It is Kathleen McKinnon. Maybe she heard about Jake's condition and she decided to come check him out at the hospital, and luckily she didn't have the slightest idea that she was being taped.
But if this woman is trying to keep out of sight, then why would she risk it all to see a cousin?
Her father and Jake's father were very close. So according to Cass, the whole family is incredibly close, especially Jake. I mean, he's more like her baby brother.
Okay, so it would make sense that she's concerned about Jake's condition.
Now all I have to do is figure out why everyone believes she died in that plane crash.
Why doesn't Cass know the truth?
Don't know.
And why would this woman come back to town after all these years?
Don't know.
And why wouldn't she tell Cass that she's still alive?
I don't know, Ryan. I don't know anything.
Okay. All right, why don't we just start with the nitty-gritty? Find out if she really is alive. Hmm?
Did you say we?
I don't know, did I?
Yeah, you did. You're gonna do it, aren't you? You're gonna help me, you lug.
Well, after all, I do owe you one. One last one.
You too.
And you know how I hate to be beholden to anybody.
So, let's get to the bottom of this, huh?
Yep. And I know exactly how to do it.
Order!
It's okay, don't worry. I'm
Dr.
here.
Frank,
Marley,
I
I
have
love
order in this court.
Okay.
Dr. Frank, you will return to your seat.
It's gonna
Dr.
be
Frank,
okay.
I must insist.
Everything is gonna be fine.
Bailiff, return that man to his
I'm not
seat.
gonna let anything happen to you. Doctor, everything is gonna be okay.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm going.
One more outburst, one more word out of you, and you're out of here. Do I make myself clear, Doctor?
Yes, Your Honor.
That goes for everyone in this room. I will not hesitate to clear this court. Mrs. McKinnon, are you able to continue? Proceed, Mr. Winthrop.
I only have a few more questions, Your Honor. Marley, after Jake forced himself on you, what happened?
He let go of me.
Did you say or do anything to him at that point? Marley, did you shoot Jake McKinnon?
No, I did not.
No further questions. Your Honor, I would like to request a brief recess
Your Honor.
before cross-examination.
Granted, Mr. Winthrop. Court will stand in recess for 20 minutes. Bailiff, have the guard take the defendant to the anteroom. You can have some privacy there, Mrs. McKinnon.
All rise.
Cass, how could you do that? How could you hurt her
Michael,
like that?
you told me to do whatever I had to do. Now, excuse me, I have to go to her.
Wait!
Michael, no, you can't go in there.
Did you know he was gonna do that? Did you know he was gonna put her through that?
Where's the Hampton?
Look, you cannot see her during the recess.
Why not?
Because Cass has to prepare her for cross-examination. It's important.
He's gonna put her through that all over again.
No,
gotta
I
go
hope
through that
not.
again?
Please, just relax, all right? Excuse me for a minute. Jamie.
Stacy, that was the worst.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Just to see her face.
It's all right. Listen, maybe it helped the case.
Did it? You think so?
It might have. It had to come out. But for something like this to come out.
It's the last thing Marley would have wanted. And her parents to have to hear it like this. What do you think it did to them?
Look, the parents.
Mr. and Mrs. Hudson.
Come on, just a brief statement.
Pardon me.
All right. I have a statement to make. Would you please just leave us alone? Just get out of my way before somebody gets really hurt.
Miss Wayne,
How do you feel?
trial is going so far?
I can't believe he did it. can't believe that he did that.
Bastard.
We didn't even know.
Bastard! I wish I'd shot him myself, Donna. I swear to God, I wish I
She didn't even tell us.
could strangle him with my bare hands.
She didn't tell us what that monster did to her. She kept it all inside. If she had just told us.
With my bare hands.
I don't understand. Iris, Paulina is only part of the problem. It was Ken and the lies he told both of us, the lies about Maria and the letter and all the rest of this business. Paulina is as much a victim of Ken's machinations as all the rest of us are.
Rachel, how can you? Yeah, you're probably right. But you can't change the fact that Paulina came into this house under false pretenses.
I know that, Iris.
And that she claimed to be my father's child.
Well, it's still possible that she is.
Well, I'm sure you're less inclined to believe that now than you were
I don't
before.
know what to believe. I'm trying not to think about it, all right?
Yeah, sorry, I understand, I know. I know what you're feeling. I know you're just trying to get through the hurt and the pain of losing Ken. But you can't ignore the fact that Paulina is probably not a Corey and that there are all sorts of legal and financial questions that have to be answered here.
I'm not ignoring anything, Iris.
Also, there's the emotional price that you're paying. As long as Paulina is under this roof, you'll be thinking about what Ken did to you.
I'm not making any decisions, all right, Iris? And if you'll excuse me, I don't feel like working.
Rachel, I'm sorry. Look, I'm very relieved that the truth came out about Ken. But I'm really sorry that he hurt you the way he did. I mean that.
Thank you, Iris.
Rachel? Iris, you made it here in record time.
Don't go, dear. Not until we've said our goodbyes. Our final goodbyes.
I told you I never wanted that to happen, Cass. I even begged you, and
I
I never
know.
would have taken the stand had I known that you were going to do that to
I
me.
did it for you.
For me.
I tried to tell you that I thought we were losing the case. If you hadn't told the jury about the rape, you most probably would have gone to prison. Now there's a better than even chance that you won't.
Because they'll feel so sorry for me that there's no way they could convict me. Is
They'll
that
think
it?
that even if you did it, even if you reacted with force, that you were justified.
I testified that I did not shoot Jake.
Yes, and after the truthful way that you told them about the rape, they might believe you.
You really think so?
Yes, I do. Although you still have to face the cross-examination, you have to be prepared for that.
Why don't you tell me what I have to do, okay?
You just tell the truth. There's nothing to hide now.
I guess not.
Please. Please. Don't think that this was an easy decision for me to make. It's about the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life.
You!
I know how empty that must sound, but it's the truth. I can see how difficult it's going to be for you to trust me again. Maybe you never will. And for that, I'm so sorry. You are truly a rare young woman. You are one of the kindest, gentlest. But I wouldn't take back 1 minute of this morning's testimony. Not one. I just hope that someday you'll understand. I guess you'd prefer to be alone.
Cass, it's not you. You didn't do anything to me. Jake did. Jake raped me. Jake's the reason I'm on trial. You were just trying to save me, I understand.
Thank you.
How much time do we have?
About 10 minutes.
Just want to collect stuff in there.
Just look her in the eye and tell her the truth.
Much as I hate to say it, Cass really pulled off a coup. Even if the jury thinks that she did shoot Jake,
They would never convict. Is that what you were going to say?
so why were they holding that back?
It's a very good question, Jack. I'm going to find out the answer. This isn't over yet. Oh, no. Not by a long shot.
I could kill him, Donna. I could just kill him.
I know.
Yeah, what she must have been going through the last couple of weeks, and you understand, Donna, I was there. I was there at the police station. It must have been hours after this happened, and all I could do was yell at Cass and yell at Ryan.
But you were doing what anybody would have done. You were trying to keep our daughter out of jail.
Yes, but I didn't even think about what she might be feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
No, I didn't, Donna. I really didn't think about what she must have been going through. I didn't.
But you didn't know what she was going through. Nobody has ever been as sensitive a father as you've been.
Then why didn't she tell me what was going on, Donna? Why didn't she tell me?
I don't know. I don't know.
What was it? She's so ashamed. She's so upset. She couldn't tell me. I mean, no wonder she ran away. You could blame her.
You mustn't blame yourself. It's Jake. It's Jake.
Jake. I would pull the plug on Jake myself right now.
I know, but it won't help Marley.
I can't help Marley. All my power and all of my wealth, and I can't help my little girl. What if she's innocent, Donna? What if she's innocent and she gets free? I mean, how is she ever going to get over this? How? And what if she's not? Donna, Marley suffered enough. She suffered enough. Are you ready to face those people again? We should go back in there.
He moved in.
I just want you to know what a pleasure it is to work with someone who's so cooperative. Someone who's so generous with their time.
Don't go overboard, okay?
But no, I understand what a risk it is that you're taking, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate the fact that you're bending the rules on me here. Oh, well, that's wonderful. You're gonna be able to get the file on my sister.
She's gonna send it.
So you are gonna be able to send me that file? Well, that's one. Ben McKinnon. Oh, well, no, I've actually never been up that way. Never been to Juneau. Oh, well, that is a wonderful idea for my next vacation. Mm-hmm. But listen, I'm just gonna turn on my my machine here. If you could just send me that. Oh, that is fantastic. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much too. Okay, bye-bye.
Incredible.
I know.
You're amazing.
I know.
And I am so clever. I knew it was a good idea to ask you for help. Do you have any idea how much faster this is moving than if I had tried to do it alone?
We may not have anything
Oh, we
yet.
have to have something,
Yeah,
Ryan.
but it may not be what we need to.
It's coming through.
Boy, that was fast.
I know we're going to come up with something, Ryan. I know we're going to find out how Kathleen could have survived that plane crash.
Well, do you think it'll explain why she wants Cass to think that she's dead?
That I don't know.
Let's just take things one step at a time, okay?
One step at a time. There's a part of me that doesn't want to go through with this at all.
Yeah, I know.
Dealing with Kathleen's ghost, with Cass's memories of her, that's one thing. Cass and I are so happy in this. What do you have? What does the autopsy report say?
I wish I could say goodbye to you, Iris.
Abracadabra. You're about to get your wish.
Sorry.
How long are you going to harass this family?
Rachel believes in me. I still am a member.
You're still a liar and a fool.
Which means that you and I are stuck with each other, much as the very thought makes me sick.
On the contrary, dear. I think you're going to enjoy good health for some time.
What are you talking about?
Guess I'll just have to find someone else to kick around.
Are you going to tell me what you're getting at?
Oh, come off it, Paulina. How long do you think Rachel's going to let you stay here?
Rachel knows that Ken lied to me, too. There's no problem.
Do you think Rachel's a complete idiot? Do you think that when she's over the shock of what Ken did to her, she's going to believe your moronic little story? She's going to be onto you so fast, you're not going to know what hit you.
We already talked about it.
She's in shock. When she recovers, she'll start to ask the same sort of questions that I've been asking. Only this time, you won't have Ken to protect you. You'll be out on the street where you belong.
I belong right here in my father's house.
And if she doesn't come to that realization on her own, you can be sure I'll be right there to let her see the light.
Yeah, I bet you would be. You're even worse than I thought.
It's over, honey. So that other little scheme of yours was all pointless.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. I'm talking about Jake McKinnon. I'm sure you know why.
Oh, you are here.
You want something, Hilda?
Mrs. Corey is looking for you. I'll send her right down.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Mrs. McKinnon.
All rise.
You may be seated. Mrs. McKinnon, I remind you, you're under oath.
I know.
The prosecution may proceed with its cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McKinnon, I know this has been a terribly trying day for you. Do you feel strong enough to continue?
Yes.
Good. Now then, before the recess, you told this court that Jake McKinnon raped you the night of the shooting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me, Ms. McKinnon, do you know the penalty for perjury in this state?
Your Honor, I most strenuously object.
Your Honor, this question is absolutely proper. Defense has presented an entirely new scenario for what happened the night that the victim was shot. It is up to me to disprove this incredible tale and show this courtroom that Marley McKinnon is nothing more than a liar.
Your Honor, this is totally improper. I object.
Hi, Jake.
The shop is closed.
Yes, that's one of the perks of being in business for yourself. You can close down whenever you don't want to see anybody.
I'm sure you don't mean me.
As a matter of fact, I was thinking of you, Iris, just the other day.
Were you really?
Yeah, somebody offered me a deal on a set of poisoned darts capable of inflicting a painful death within 30 seconds.
And you thought of me, how flattering.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't come with a blowpipe, so there was no way to launch them. I had to turn the deal down, so you're out of luck.
Katie.
I'll see you around.
I'm not leaving.
You know I'm always too busy to talk to you.
I just came from Rachel's.
Oh.
You know, you and I should work together, Ken. We've got a lot of interest in common.
Iris, when you say things like that, it makes my blood run cold.
Don't you want to know what she was doing?
All right, I'll bite. What was she doing?
She was packing your wedding presents to return them. You know, she really is very upset. She's the most distressed I've ever seen her since Daddy died.
Why are you telling me this?
Just thought you'd like to know.
That Rachel's upset? Who the hell isn't?
Well, personally, I think it's a big mistake.
Well, a lot of mistakes have been made. Now there's no unmaking them.
Well, I just thought I'd let you know.
Well, the kids are with her? They're taking care of her?
They're busy with their own lives.
But Ada's there, though.
Well, she's running the restaurant.
So, Rachel's alone.
Yes, she's devastated. She's also very confused.
How do you mean?
She doesn't know what she's doing.
She knew what she was doing when she broke off with me.
But that was then. I think she's had a chance to think about it now.
What are you saying, Iris?
I'm saying that I can help you get Rachel back.
There was no autopsy.
Why?
Because there was no body.
Let me see that.
According to this file, the,
No autopsy was done.
Kathleen McKinnon Winthrop died in an airplane crash.
Her body burnt beyond all recognition.
Positive identification was made from personal effects, a purse, a ring that were not completely destroyed.
Yes. That you must have gone through. But surely some sort of confirmation could have been done from an actual autopsy, from her dental records, something.
Apparently not from this.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Listen, the airplane crash occurred deep in wilderness. The nearest hospital was probably hundreds of miles away.
So what?
So I can understand why they didn't make a positive ID on her or go out of their way to get one, because we're actually lucky that it's this complete.
T. Cunningham.
Who?
That's the guy who filed this lousy report.
What are you doing?
I am going to talk to T. Cunningham and see if he can remember anything a little bit more specific. In fact, I may even go to Alaska.
Well, that's a long way.
Yeah, well, it's always best to look someone in the eye when you want something from them. Of course, I'm going to have to come up with some excuse to give Cass.
You mean you're not going to tell Cass about all this?
Well, this is painful stuff, Ryan. Cass has got a lot on his mind, and we're not positive that Kathleen's alive.
Frankie, the trial could end today or tomorrow. And Cass is going to need to know. After all, after what we've talked about, it...
Is his wife?
Yeah.
Don't you think I know that, Ryan? That's why I can't tell him.
Why not, Frankie? Frankie, what are you afraid of?
I couldn't take it, Ryan. I just couldn't take it. Even the thought that I could lose Cass, I couldn't take it.
What Miss Graves said is inflammatory and totally unfounded, Your Honor. If she has questions about what happened, then ask them. Stop making these outrageous statements.
I suggest that you find basis for your objections and stop trying to obscure the facts.
I suggest this isn't the time to engage in polemics. Sit down, Mr. Winthrop.
But, Your Honor, I can't let...
I won't say it twice, Counselor. Ask your questions, Ms. Graves.
Thank you. Ms. McKinnon, I ask you to think back to the night of the shooting, after your visit to the loft, where you claim to have been so savagely attacked.
Objection.
Overruled, but watch the editorializing, Counselor.
What did you do after the stated attack?
Do?
Yes, where did you go?
I went to my car and drove.
Where? place in particular.
You just drove around?
Yes.
Did you call the police and report that you'd been raped?
No.
Did you go to a hospital and have yourself examined?
Objection, Your Honor. Mrs. McKinnon has already answered the question. She just drove around.
Overruled. Answer the question, Mrs. McKinnon. Did you go to a hospital?
No.
Proceed.
Did you call your sister and tell her that you'd been raped? No.
Your parents?
No.
Anybody? Did you tell anybody?
No.
Did you ever go to a healthcare professional or a counselor to address the damage of this rape?
No.
No.
At least not right away.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
About a month after the rape, I thought I was pregnant, so I did go to the hospital and get a pregnancy test.
And were you pregnant? You say you were tested a month after the rape?
I said a little more than a month.
Then you only went to the hospital after you'd been charged with attempted murder.
One thing had nothing
Isn't
to
it a
do
fact,
with
Ms. McKinnon, isn't it a fact that there is not one piece of corroborating evidence that this rape even took place?
No, that is not a fact. You have my word.
Yes, but your word changes with alarming frequency, my dear.
Tell me, Ms. McKinnon, do you recall speaking with Detective Harrison the day after the shooting?
Yes?
At the hospital, I believe.
I spoke
You
to
gave him a
Lorraine.
statement, is that correct?
I guess so.
You signed it, Ms. McKinnon.
I don't know what you want me to
I want
say.
you to remember what you told Detective Harrison about your visit to the loft.
I'm not sure I can.
Oh, come on now, Ms. McKinnon. It wasn't all that long ago, and I find it hard to believe that you can't recall such a vivid event.
Objection. Badgering the witness.
I'm merely asking her to jog her memory.
Objection overruled. Go on, Ms. Graves.
Why don't I give you your statement, and you can read to us what you told the detective. This section right here. Would you read that, please?
I saw Jake at the loft. Told him I didn't want to marry him. Gave him back his ring. And left.
That's it? That's what you told Detective Harrison?
Yes.
You didn't say anything about the rape. In a sworn statement, you made absolutely no mention of what has to be the most traumatic experience a woman can endure.
I did not tell him.
Until the day you were arrested, you never even talked about a fight or a struggle or anything physical. All you said was that you went to the loft, you gave Jake back his ring, and you left. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And then after the arrest, all you said was that Jake tried to rape you. Tried. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
How do you account for the fact that Jake's attack on you has grown proportionately more vicious the closer you get to facing prison?
Objection.
Sustained.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor. Ms. McKinnon, isn't it a fact that your claim that Jake raped you, a claim substantiated by no other evidence, physical or otherwise, isn't it a fact that your claim is nothing more than a desperate attempt to avoid the consequences of your own acts?
Objection.
Sustained. No more leading questions, Ms. Graves.
Withdraw the question.
You know better, Counselor. If you can't conduct a proper cross-examination, then we'll just call an end to it.
I apologize, Your Honor.
The jury is instructed to ignore the prosecution's last two attempts at questions, which will also be struck from the record.
She's so big-hearted.
You can help me get Rachel back. In exchange for what, as if I didn't know.
Paulina. Paulina has to go.
Forget it.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Ken. She came here under false pretenses. You invented her.
Whatever I did, it doesn't deny the fact that she could be Max daughter.
Could be is not good enough.
From what I know, I'd say she probably is.
Daddy did not sire that woman. I don't know why he's sticking up for you. For her, she's been trashing you all over town.
I know.
You know? And you don't care?
What difference does it make? I've already lost what's most important to me.
But that's what I'm offering you. A trade. You get Paulina out of the Corey house, and I help you get Rachel back. Is
I
it a
don't
deal?
think Rachel wants that, not now.
Let me worry about what Rachel wants.
I'm having a little trouble buying this, Iris.
Look, I've seen you together. I think it's the real thing. I know the difference between between that and a relationship that's going nowhere.
Like yours and Lucas's.
I knew Lucas was bad. I knew we had problems. I could see the signs, but it was good. It was so good. Anyway, it's over now, and you and Rachel aren't.
Iris, no. Whatever it is you're thinking, it would be a cheat.
And you're worried about that? Isn't the whole reason you're here because of a cheat? A scam to get what you wanted? Well, I can help you get what you want. The most important thing in your life. Isn't that what you said? I can make it happen. Now, are we gonna play the game?
Kill Paulina's dream? Take away what's rightfully hers?
It's your choice. Think about it. Think what's at stake. I'll be in touch.
Come on, Frankie. Cass is crazy about you.
I know that.
So how could you even think that you could lose him?
Cass only fell in love with me because he believed Kathleen is dead.
But he did fall in love with you, didn't he?
Ever since I got involved with Cass, hardly a day has gone by that I didn't know he was thinking about her. That I haven't felt her presence in our lives.
That's all over now. He loves you now. I mean, he married you, for God's sake.
Only because she's gone.
Oh, Frankie.
He loved her so much, Ryan. He still does. And if she's alive...
If that's true, then how come she hasn't tried to get in touch with him?
Oh, I wish I knew.
Because she doesn't want to be involved in his life anymore.
And if that's true, it's the biggest mystery of all.
What's that?
From the way Cass and Felicia talked, she loved him as much as he loves her, probably even more. So if she is the woman in that video, if she is alive, why is she keeping it all a secret?
It's time, Kathleen. We gotta leave town.
I'm not leaving yet. There's still something that I have to do. Ms. McKinnon, I'd like to return to the night of the shooting.
She's turning the jury against Marley.
I'm not sure how much more of this she can take.
Before you went to see Jake, what was your state of mind towards the victim?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
How did you feel about Jake?
I was disappointed.
Disappointed? Come on now, I'm sure that we can find a more appropriate word for it.
The question has been answered, Your Honor.
Move on, Ms. Graves.
You were planning on breaking off an engagement?
I already told you that.
I want us all to be absolutely sure what your reasons were for that.
He lied about a lot of things.
What things?
I thought that he was being unfaithful to me.
You thought?
He was being unfaithful.
Well, there was a lot more to it than that, wasn't there?
Yes.
You weren't in love with Jake anymore, were you?
No.
Were you in love with someone else?
I have to object to this line of questioning,
Surely
Your
I'm
Honor.
allowed to establish the defendant's frame of mind here.
Overruled. You will answer the question, Mrs. McKinnon.
I was beginning to have feelings for someone else, yes.
And that someone else was and is Dr. Jamie Frame, isn't that right?
Yes.
You wanted to be with Dr. Frame, isn't that right?
Yes.
But Jake wouldn't accept this.
No.
He was going to stand in your way forever. He was going to keep you from your lover forever.
Jamie is not my lover.
I don't want to argue semantics with you, Ms. McKinnon. Now, you wanted to be with Jamie. You wanted to be together, isn't that right?
Yes.
And Jake wanted to keep you apart.
Yes.
Is that what you fought about?
No!
But you couldn't stand the thought of being kept apart from Jamie Frame, could you? And so you took that gun that Jake kept in his loft and you shot him, didn't you?
Sue Ellen Ewing.
Rachel?
I came looking for you down here. Hilda said you were...
Here. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you. I'm sorry for everything.
I don't think I understand what's going on.
I'm leaving here.
No, I did not shoot Jake.
I know this is hard.
I wouldn't do something
God
like
knows
that.
in that moment that you probably thought you had a reason for doing what
I
you did.
didn't
but
do
we need
anything
the
to him.
truth.
I have told the truth.
We know that you went to see Jake that night. We know that he would have never set you free. By your own admission, there was a struggle, and a neighbor saw you leaving that courtroom later than you claimed to have left.
You have to stop.
For God's sake, Marley, admit it. Tell this courtroom what really happened. You shot Jake McKinnon, didn't you?
No.
Mrs. Hudson,
My daughter
please.
didn't shoot Jake. I did.
This winter, Falcon Beach heats up SoapNet. You won't want to miss all the drama that happens in this steamy resort town. Falcon Beach. It all starts with a 2-hour premiere. Saturday at 11 a.m. on SoapNet.
Very